Hello everybody and welcome back. We're here for the second week challenge for the Essential Ephemera bundle. We are making an ephemera holder this month, so each week we are going to be adding to that. So this is the second week's challenge. And this challenge is being hosted in my Facebook group, Non-Stop Papercrafts, in Nathalie's Facebook group, Line.Arrow. And it's also being hosted in Two Sister Jam, Savage Art, Sweet Pea Papers, and Junk Journals, Tutorials, and more. So all of those Facebook groups are hosting this challenge. We're all doing giveaways at the end of the month as well. So the more groups that you are part of, the more chances you have of winning at the end of the month. And of course, there are exclusive freebies. So I'm just going to go through the freebies first, and then we can crack on and get started finishing off this ephemera holder, or doing the next part anyway. So week 2, these are the pages that you can find in my Facebook group or Ko-fi if you don't use Facebook. So we have 2 side pockets and then 2 taller either tags or journaling cards that can be tucked inside. Now I do print borderless, so that's why it's quite close to the edge on mine, but if you have a bit of a border it kind of shrinks it down a little bit. But I only do borderless because I want these pockets to be as tall as possible. So that's those 2. All of these pages also come in sepia, just as we did with the main kit. I will have the main kit listed down below if you wish to go and purchase that. It is 30% off at the moment for the whole of this month, as it's the release month, and we always do a bit of a discount in the first month. The next page then are some corner pockets. So I've done them arched, but I thought these might look pretty in the corner of a page. And then there's a couple of fussy cuts as well that could be used for decoration. Again, you've got that page in sepia, and I actually really like these flowers in sepia. I think they look really pretty. And then lastly, we've just got some more sort of fussy cuts and things, bits that you can use to kind of decorate different elements. We've got this beautiful green floral frame. We've got a couple of butterflies that could be cut out. We've got a bingo card, a couple of tickets, and then some tags up at the top. And that's how that looks in sepia. The frame, I think, looks particularly stunning in sepia, actually. Really love that frame. So that's those bits. As I said, you can find those in my Facebook group, Non-Stop Papercrafts, or on my Ko-fi page. I will have everything all linked down below. But as a way to thank the other Facebook groups, Nathalie and I are designing some freebies that can be found just in these Facebook groups. So they're not going to be available in our groups or on our Ko-fi pages. They are just available in those Facebook groups. So as I said, if you're part of all of these, then you'll have access to everything. If you're only part of a few of them, then obviously you'll only have access to those freebies. But it's just our way of saying thank you to those groups for hosting, because it's a lot of work doing these challenges, and obviously keeping an eye on the entries and doing the prize drawing at the end. So it's just a nice way to kind of say thanks to those groups and the people participating. So the first set of freebies are these ones. So they're very similar to what's in my freebie page, just different designs on this. You've got 2 side pockets, 2 tall journaling cards, and again they are available in sepia. And these freebies you can find in the Savage Art Facebook group. We then have some very long and very wide pockets. These are for large projects like an ephemera holder. If obviously you want to stick them in a journal and they're perhaps a bit too wide, then you can of course just sort of fold them in on the sides a bit more if you need to. But as I said, they are designed for larger projects like an ephemera holder. And again, this is available in sepia. We've got some little tickets up at the top as well. Oops, might help if I actually turn the page so you can see. So that's what it looks like in sepia. And these you'll be able to find in the Junk Journal, Tutorials and More Facebook group. We then have this page. So we've got 3 tags and then 2 pockets. These pockets perfectly fit these tags, and again just some little fussy cuts and labels and things just to add to decoration. And the page in sepia looks like this, and you can find these in the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group. And lastly, we have this page. This one you can find in Two Sisters Jam. Again, just some extra elements. So we've got a mini envelope, a couple of kind of smaller tags and journaling cards, and then a couple of decorated frames as well. And of course, that's also in sepia. So that's all of the freebies. All of the links will be down below. So I've got my links which will have my Etsy shop and my Ko-fi page, and then there's a Facebook group link which will have another Linktree link to all of the Facebook groups taking part, so it's just easy access for you to jump between each of the Facebook groups, but it will take you to all of them. So that's all of the freebies. So now we can get on with the next part. So this is as far as I've got so far. So I've got this piece which will be wrapping around here once we've kind of completed this. This is what I did in my part 2 last time. So we've got this as a closure, it opens up, and we've got our expandable envelope, which is perfect for those smaller fussy cuts like the little labels and the tabs and things that you have. And then we've got the main ephemera holder. So this is just decorated because obviously that's going to be stuck on the front. We open up, and this is what we've done last week for the first week challenge. Just kind of starting to get the base done. So I've got some envelopes and things that flip out. So the next section I'm going to work on is this one here. So although I've got 2 pages, I do want an additional flip out, which is what I'm going to sort out first. Okay, so I've got this page in sepia, and all I'm going to do is fold this in half. And this is going to form my flip out. So I do need to score a little flap here as well. I'm just going to use my smaller scoreboard rather than trying to dig my bigger one out. So I'm just going to come in 1/2 inch. Do it that way just because it's easier. Right, and I'm going to glue these 2 together. Now this does come up slightly taller than that, but that's absolutely fine, that's not a problem. So I'm going to glue these 2 together. Right, okay, and then where the tabs are, I'm just going to cut a slight angle. Just so that's easy when I'm sticking down. I'm going to give it a good fold that way, but also a fold back the other way, because I need it to be obviously nice and flexible. So I'm just going to glue those 2 flaps together so they don't come apart. And what I might actually do just before I glue it down is just ink around this edge. Okay, and this, as I say, is going to get glued onto here. try and line it up. That's better. Right, okay, so now that we've done that, this is where I'm going to start using some of the freebie pages. So I want to use a couple of these pockets. So I'm going to have 2 of them stacked here. Just trying to figure out which way do I want them facing. I think possibly that way. Yes, I think I want the pockets, so this pocket, so that I'm grabbing it from this way. I think, yeah, let's go with that. So I'm just going to cut these out. Come back to those another time. It might have been a good idea to do this on the guillotine because I'm not particularly great cutting with scissors. And I'm thinking for speed, because again I don't want this video being particularly long. Last week, fair enough, obviously I was setting up the base, but it was an hour-long video, and I didn't really want another hour-long video. Okay, so that's one of them. That fits perfectly on there. It has been incredible seeing the ephemera holders that people are sharing in the Facebook groups. I always really love seeing how people like to store their ephemera, because obviously they're going to make an ephemera holder that suits their needs. So it's always, yeah, really fun to kind of see how they do it. Right, so I am going to have them sort of staggered. So I was thinking something like that. Or that way. I think I actually quite like that way. So yes, I'm going to stagger them like that. I am of course going to ink around the edges just so they kind of stand out a little bit. But yeah, the ephemera holders have been absolutely brilliant, and people using all sorts of materials as well. Some people have used book covers and then created almost what would be like a journal, but inside they've used either a lot of envelopes, or some people have used you know, the plastic wallets that hold like football cards and things like that. People have used those because obviously they are essentially little pockets, so great for holding ephemera. Somebody even created a box, which I thought was a really clever idea, with lots of little compartments, again for the different sized ephemera and the different bits and pieces that they would use in a project. So I thought that was very clever as well. So yeah, it's been really, really good to see. And if you want to go and check out any of these, just make sure that you're part of the Facebook groups, and then you'll get to see, yeah, everybody's posts and their makes for these challenges. Okay, so I'm going to stick them like that. I know this one's obviously close to the edge of this, but we've got all this distance still to the end of the gusset, so even if I've got something that slightly overhangs, it doesn't matter in that pocket. So I'm just going to put that there and make a little pencil line so I know that that's where that pocket is going. And I haven't printed double-sided because obviously you're not really going to see the other side of this. Okay, so lining up with those pencil marks, obviously just making sure that there's a reasonably even distance top and bottom. That's one, and then that one's going to go there. And then that one goes about there. Perfect. Right, so we've got 2 tuck spots there. Try and get rid of some of this rubbish. Okay, and then on this side of the opening, I wanted to use these. So I want to cut out these 2 pockets. And these tags. Now you don't have to obviously use all the tags, and the other tags in the main kit will fit in these as well. Not all of them, obviously I've got various different sizes in the main kit, but there are some that will fit in this. So if you've got the main kit, obviously mix and match. I am just trying to use a lot of the freebies as possible, just so people can see that you can actually still create things with the freebies that you are receiving. Okay, and then fold these over. Again, I have not copied these double-sided because you're not really going to see this part anyway. Okay, so that's one. Okay, so what I was thinking was sticking these like this. Just wondering if I could get 3 on a page. I don't think I can. So I'm going to stick these like this. Maybe do something up at the top. But I'm going to pull them so closer to the hinge, because obviously when the tag is in, that's going to kind of stick out a little bit. So maybe just put those like that, and then like I said, I'll think of something to pop there at the top. Which 2 do we want? I think these 2. I mean, when it comes to actually getting all the ephemera in, I may swap these out. I may actually stick a couple of tags in each pocket. This is obviously just for demonstration purposes only. And it might be that I back these as well, because I haven't printed double-sided. That's going to go there. So let's get the pockets stuck down. Oh, actually, before I do that, let's give them a little link. And I am using a vintage photo. I have in my last couple of projects been using the darker one. I want to say it's walnut stain. But for this one, because it is a bit more pretty and floral, I decided to go for vintage photo, as it's still brown, but it's a bit more subtle. It's not quite as dark. Try not to glue yourself to the project. So about there. And that one there. And then the tags, as I said, are designed so they fit in there with just having that domed part poking out. As I said, I will ink those and sort those out when we get to that part of the challenge, but that will be more next week. Right, so in the center here, this is where I was thinking I wanted to use these wider pockets. So I'm going to have 3 of them in a row. And then this one is where I'm going to have maybe the arched pockets. So I need to cover these 2. And I think because I'm using the coloured pockets, I'm going to use sepia in the background. So I'm just going to find a couple of background papers. Okay, so I've got these 2. So I might use that one for the corner one and this one for the pockets. Now obviously I've got a bit of a gap because these envelopes are designed for an A4 piece of paper folded in half, so that obviously it fits nicely within the envelope. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I want this in the centre, that's a definite. So I'm just going to line this up at the bottom, and then with my pencil, just going to put a little mark there and a little mark on that side and trim those bits down. This time I will be using a trimmer because I can't do that with scissors. Okay, so that's the middle section. Now obviously I need a bit that goes at the top, so I'm going to use this. So I just need to obviously cut this the same width. Okay, that cuts it the same width. So that goes up that way. And then I can have this kind of up the top up here. Right, let's stick this one down first. Just going to ink around the edge. And then this is obviously going to go on there. So I'm just going to ink around this edge. I'm obviously not going to ink the top because then it will be obvious that that is separate. So I'm just going to go down the side. Okay, so that's the base of that one covered. So what did I need now? My long pockets. Right, so they're my 3 pockets. I'm going to fold these over. As you can see, they are a perfect size for this style envelope. But if you did need them a little bit smaller, as I said, just fold them in a little bit more. That's the beauty of paper, is we can adapt it and change it to what we need. Right, so there's one, and I think that one's going to go in the middle because these are quite lighter, and that's like a darker blue, so that one can go in the middle. So we've got one pocket, two pocket, and then this one will be going up at the top. And again, you can play around with the sides. If perhaps you didn't want them, or you wanted like a wide one, a slightly thinner one, a slightly thinner one, then obviously just trim them down to the size that you need. But because I know that this envelope is quite a tall one, I knew that these would fit on. And it doesn't matter if they're a bit close, because obviously once they're stuck down, it just means that the tags will kind of come up over the pocket a little bit, which doesn't bother me at all. So they're going to be my 3 pockets. Obviously the top one I wouldn't have necessarily tall things in, it would just be my smaller pieces of ephemera. But I've got those 3 pockets, so I'm going to ink around those and we can get those stuck down. Wonderful. Right, okay. So they're the 3. I think I'll start with the bottom one. So just making sure they're really burnished. I'm going to stick this one down the bottom like so. Then this was going to be my middle one. Sorry if the lighting keeps changing. It's an absolute miserable day outside. I have put my lights on in the room just because it keeps getting dark, but every now and then I just get a burst of sunshine through the window. The weather really has no idea what it's doing, but considering it's June, it's seriously miserable. It's been raining a lot this morning. Don't know why we're shocked in the UK really that it's raining in June. It feels like this has become the new norm. We normally have a nice couple of days, which we did back in May, and then it all seems to go out of the window again, which is really frustrating because I've got a wardrobe packed full of summery dresses. Can I wear any of them? No. Back to cardigans in June. Right, so 3 pockets there, 2 pockets here, tuck spots there. We are getting there. Right, so now we just need to focus on this side. So we're going to use this as the backing, and then I wanted these as the corner spots. So I'm thinking that I'm going to use these 2 because I only need 2, or do I? Yeah, I only need 2 I think at the minute. I'll see how it looks and then maybe we'll cut out another one. if you are watching this and you're finding it super daunting, perhaps making your own ephemera holder because you think that what I'm doing is super complicated, I absolutely recommend that you head over to the Non-Stop Papercrafts Facebook group and check out a video that Sandra Dyer posted in the group. She just used the freebies and she created a really simple but awesome tri-fold ephemera holder that you could have as a standalone project, just as, you know, if you are a beginner, if you are a newbie. But it could also be great to put inside a larger ephemera holder if you're making one of the bigger ones as well. But if you are new and you're a little bit put off because you think that this is too much of a task, then go and check out that video. It's absolutely brilliant, and Sandra explains exactly how she's kind of put things together as well. Right, so which corner do we want? I think this one. I like the butterflies and the florals. So I obviously only want to go up to about here. Okay, now I don't have to take too much off the bottom of this one because obviously I did trim this envelope down. I might just take a teensy bit off the top. And then see how much I need off at the bottom. There we go. Right, so again, just going to give this a little bit of an ink. So we can get that stuck down. And then there's a couple of ways that you can do these. So originally, I think what I was thinking is having one in one corner, one in the other, and then something kind of tucks in between, so it's kind of getting held on both sides. But these are obviously quite big corners for this particular one. I mean, I can shrink them down a bit, cut them back, and then, like I said, something kind of gets tucked in and tucked in. But what I'm thinking of doing is having them layered like that, so you can stick stuff in here, you can stick stuff in there. Just thinking, do we want a third one? So it's kind of pocket, pocket, pocket. But then you lose that beautiful butterfly. Could make this a small one, bring it down the bottom. Yeah, I might do that actually. So where are we? About here. I think I might chop that one there. Okay, so again, inking up. Awesome. So how did we have it? So it's that one, and that one on top, wasn't it? Right, so I'll keep that in that order and pop that there for a minute while we stick this one down. Right, so this one gets stuck down first. Then this one. And then the last pocket. One thing I do want to say is I'm really excited to say that the Facebook group has reached over 6,000 members. Considering it's only been running for 6 months, reaching 6,000 members is absolutely incredible. So thank you so much everybody that is part of the group, participates and shows your fantastic, amazing creations. Everybody is always just so very, very inspiring. So yeah, thank you very much to everybody that is a part of the group. I'm absolutely blown away that there are 6,000. That's absolutely incredible. Right, okay, so that's that part done. So just to have a little look how this looks from the front, so we can see we've got all of these different layers in there, which I'm really loving. We are of course going to have this part on the front once this is all filled, but it's already getting a little bit chunkier, so it's going to end up looking something like that once it's done. So what I'm going to do between this video and next week's challenge is I'm going to start putting some of my ephemera together, so either backing it or printing double-sided, having it all cut out all ready, and start sort of filling this. And then next week's challenge is going to be a bit more about the ephemera, so I'll either do some decorating with you or carrying on filling this up. I mean, I do still have the back to cover, so I will do that as well, possibly between this video and the next. And then yeah, in next week's challenge video we can, like I said, finish putting the ephemera in, do some decorating of ephemera, do some decorating of this if needs be. So if there's any plain bits and we think, oh, that could do with a bit of lace, we can pop that on there. And yeah, just getting this finished. But I'm really loving how it is looking. As I said, I've been amazed by everybody else's ephemera holders. They have been absolutely fantastic to look at, and I really love getting that inspiration from other people and how they kind of think it will work for them and how it will hold their ephemera. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. I'm really happy with how this is looking. So that's it for this week's challenge. It's just creating some more tuck spots and pockets for your ephemera holder. As I say, everything is customizable, so if the tuck spots or the pockets are too big, then just shrink them down, just cut bits off if you don't need them. I did in this video. Just use the papers however it works for you and your particular project. If you have enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I would really love to read your comments as well, so please pop a comment down below. If you are not already subscribed to the channel, it would be really great if you click that subscribe button. Also make sure that you click the bell though, and then you are notified of any new videos when they are released. Thank you so much for watching everybody. Don't forget to check all of the links out down below for design team members and the other Facebook groups. I hope you have a wonderful crafty day, and I will see you all in the next crafty video. Bye for now.